Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming to my speech. What I want to talk about today is why you need to train for strength as a natural athlete. I see a trend kind of being on Facebook, a bunch of social media sites, and fitness is kind of blowing up around this time, and I get tons of emails all the time and Facebook messages on how I can fix my diet, how I can fix my training. So I kind of wanted to center this around what I do for training and how that increases my size and my strength. More people are wanting to get bigger and leaner than ever. As I said, I kind of see this trend moving, and just kind of wanted to go over the different kind of training styles, training for strength, and then training for hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is muscle growth. Volume is constant here. That means that the amount of sets and the amount of reps and the total workload that is done remains constant. So say if you do 3 sets of 10 at 100 pounds, that's 3,000. Or if you do 5 sets of 5 at 120 pounds, that's still 3,000 pounds each one of those. But the difference between strength and hypertrophy, with strength you have 3 to 5 reps, and hypertrophy is 8 to 12 reps. Usually with strength you're doing 75 to 85% of your 1 rep max, which is how much you can lift or how much you can exert yourself for 1 rep. And then with hypertrophy it's 50 to 80% of your 1 rep max. Your rest times with strength is usually between 2 to 5 minutes, so you can recover fully and exert yourself fully the next set. And rest time with hypertrophy is usually 30 seconds to a minute. Because you don't need as much rest since you're using a lighter load. With strength, you're usually using compound movements, meaning that it works a lot more muscle. Like, say if you do a bench press, it works your chest, your tris, your delts. It works more muscles in one movement. And with hypertrophy, it's usually isolation movements, meaning bicep curls, tricep extensions, just one muscle at a time. And with strength training, it's perceived as just building strength. You don't get bigger, but I'll show you that you do get bigger while you're still building strength. And hypertrophy is to build muscle, but muscle is a byproduct of either training for strength or training for endurance. It's not something that you train for specifically. Training for strength burns more fat than training for hypertrophy or endurance, simply because you exert more energy while you're training for strength in one movement. And then your thermal effect inside your body is increased because the more load that you lift, the hotter your body gets inside and the more your metabolism works. Much more gratifying, I think, training for strength. You're not so concerned about the way you look, it's more about how you improve in the gym. And reaching goals more often feels better, and it keeps you pushing and it keeps you motivated in the gym. Strength gains are much more noticeable than size gains. Usually size, you're in it for the long run, and it takes a long time to see gains in size over time, as opposed to strength gains. You can see strength gains week to week, day to day, and it just helps you keep going when you get started. Being stronger makes you feel better about yourself. As you get stronger, you're getting bigger, you're feeling better about yourself, you're going in the gym, and you're lifting more weight than you did the week before. Training for strength increases muscle mass at the same rate as training for hypertrophy. Assuming that volume is constant, as you're training for strength, what induces increase in hypertrophy is an adaptation to stimulus. So as long as you're going in the gym and you're exerting the same amount of force, it could be different amounts of weights, could be different amounts of reps per set. As long as your volume stays constant, you're still going to be progressing the same in size as you would training for hypertrophy or endurance. And lifting a heavier load recruits more muscle. It recruits your fast twitch muscle fibers as well as your slow twitch muscle fibers. Whereas training for hypertrophy is mostly just slow twitch muscle fibers. I get all this information from Eric Helms. He has a PhD in nutritional sciences with an emphasis on protein synthesis. And he's also a power lifter and a very successful personal trainer, as well as a pro natural bodybuilder. Do you want to be bigger or stronger? If you want to be bigger, stop playing around with routines that don't work. Routines that you can find online, written by people who don't know what they're doing and who are just in it to make a little bit of money. If you want to be stronger, train for strength. So your body adapts to the stimulus. And with that comes an increase in size as well. What can you expect from going on a strength training program? You gain size at the same pace as you would a hypertrophy program. You gain strength a lot quicker because you're lifting a heavier load. Lose fat faster because of the thermal effect and the more energy is being exerted in the gym. And you look better and you feel better about yourself. As Eric Helms says, size is a consequence and not something that you should train for. So if you want to be bigger, you don't have to train for size specifically. Size is a byproduct of training for other things such as endurance and strength. And that's everything. I just wanted to touch on a few topics that I get asked a lot in emails and on Facebook. And thank you very much for coming.
All right, good job. Good job.